apologies in advance. Co-chair of advocacy and legislation for NCLA, and I'm also current chair of the UNCG Faculty Senate. So I look forward to working with all of you. Congratulations on beginning this journey, and best of luck.
And Dr. Velez?
Good morning, everybody. So I am Dr. Velez. I currently teach information sources and services. It says previously taught, but I also am teaching information literacy this semester. I might have already had some of you in my summer class. Hi, Olivia. I got my MLS from North Carolina Central and my undergraduate degree from UNC. So I am kind of a UNC girl, I guess. My research interests are in equity, diversity, and inclusion issues in LIS, and critical race theory, critical LIS history, and sort of information in society. I will probably see most of you in my 620 class. We have a couple other 620 professors, but I'm lucky that I get to see a lot of you because it's a required class. Thank you. I think it's important too. I'm looking at your comments. I think it's important too. So I hope that all of you have a great upcoming semester. And no, I didn't run a marathon, but I am a certified dance fitness instructor. I don't teach it though.
Next question. Yay, we'll do that one next.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Noah Lenstra, and I have my Zoom background from our Jackson Library here at UNCG, which hopefully when the pandemic gets to a point where in-person there are things that we do again, you all will have the opportunity to visit, definitely recommend. So I teach primarily in the area of community engagement in libraries. I'm teaching community informatics and advanced issues in library administration this fall. And I also typically teach LIS 600, Foundations of Library and Information Science. Grew up in outside of a small town of 3,500 people, ran 3 marathons, PhD, as well as my Master's of Library and Information Science from the University of Illinois. And really the thing that drives my research and teaching is the question of how libraries and archives and other information institutions adapt and evolve alongside their communities. And a big and special interest of mine is anything having to do with healthy aging and how libraries can promote it. So thanks everyone, and looking forward to learning more about you all.
Hey everybody, I'm Sonia. You can call me Sonia, though Dr. Archer Capuzzo is fine. I'm sitting here at home with one of my corgis over my shoulder. You can see her on the couch. The other one's in the other room. They may start barking any second, so I just apologize ahead of time. I will be seeing you guys when you take LIS 640, possibly, unless you take it with someone else, which is fine. So I teach that core class on information organization, plus any other information organization classes like indexing, cataloging. I also teach music librarianship. I am a recovering musician. My doctorate is actually in music and clarinet performance and ethnomusicology. So there you go. I'm also the practicum liaison, which means that for any of you who do a practicum and for all of you who do capstone, any kind of field experience, you're going to be talking to me. So just keep that in mind, and we'll probably talk more about that capstone in a few minutes. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to the program.
Okay, time for a new question. Now let's see who's in the lead.
Chris. Chris is forged ahead of Susie with 1,849 points. So the next question is, which one of these 4 LIS faculty is a beekeeper?
I usually say red column. I keep calling.
It's a tie between Joanna and Fati, but Fati is the correct answer. We'll start with the new guy. Colin is our newest professor. Go ahead, Colin.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so like Nora mentioned, I am brand new to UNCG, so I'll be sort of in a similar position to many of you where I'll be learning about things as I go. We'll be kind of learning together about how things work at UNCG, and I'm really excited to be here and working with you all. So I will be teaching 640 Information Organization Access. So I'm the other teacher for that if you don't have Sonia. And I'll also be teaching Special Collections. So if I have any of you in those classes, I'll be really excited to work with you all. And I'll be excited to work with you all in coming semesters if you're not taking those classes. So I am not new to North Carolina. I have been working on my PhD at UNC Chapel Hill and just finished up in the spring there. So I'm just kind of coming a little bit down the road to Greensboro now. And my research interests are primarily in archives, digital preservation, digital curation, and really thinking about the links between how archival institutions are taking care of new kinds of born digital materials and how communities of creators are also taking care of those things, because digital information changes so quickly and digital technologies change so quickly that the communities that are initially working with those things are often doing some of the first sort of digital preservation, digital archiving work on those materials long before they enter into archives. So I'm really interested in thinking about ways to forge new kinds of connections between cultural heritage institutions and the communities that are initially creating and caring for those materials. So yeah, really excited to be here. I'll be learning with you all, and I look forward to getting to know you in the coming months and semesters ahead. Thanks.
I want to come up there, Nora, if that's okay. You want to trade places with me? Nora and I are playing the social distancing bingo game. But basically, my name is Tammy Brewer. I am, as Nora said earlier, the school library program coordinator. And while I do have animals, they do not include thousands of bees. So I give that over to Fatih, and I love the honey when he shares it. I'll just say that. But I am responsible for teaching a few classes. So I teach LIS 617, which is your children's literature. So I see lots of students. These are from, this is for literature for ages 12 and under. And I see lots of students that are in public libraries normally and school libraries. So I enjoy working with you. I also teach the school librarian and the curriculum. So those of you who are on school library focus, I apologize, you'll have me for lesson planning. Does that sound fun? We'll create lesson plans, talk about inquiry and how that really impacts a lesson to make it more interesting, more impactful for your students. And then I am also responsible for helping you with the school library capstone, which is 693. That is our practicum, kind of like your student teaching. So if you're school librarians, you won't really look at that capstone with Dr. Archer Capuso. You'll kind of connect with me. So sometimes that gets confusing because it's they're both called a capstone at some places. But I have been a classroom teacher. I have worked in the school system for 25 years. I can't believe that. But in that time, I've been a classroom teacher, a school librarian. I was the director of library media services in Guilford County for about 8 years, district librarian and director. I absolutely love what I do. Enjoy working with you. And now I get to work with such a great team to work with future librarians and see what we can do to support your learning as you're moving forward and developing your creative programs, including maker spaces and reading incentive programs and really just collaboration with your teachers, right? So that you can really make an impact on student learning. So enjoy meeting you, look forward to it. And you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, there's lots of opportunity to connect with us on Facebook and social media and email. So I'm sure Ann Claire will talk about that in a little while, but please follow us. That's where we get to kind of share all the great things you're doing in your programs. So I look forward to meeting you.
And Tammy is also very good at making everything. So the slides are hers. I take no credit for those. So go ahead, Joe. You're just your sound is a mess. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like you're in the bottom of a cave.
The joys of online instruction.
Now we can't hear you at all. Now we have nothing. Okay. Let me read this slide for Joe. I'm sorry. Joe got her PhD from Argosy University and her MLS from University of Kentucky. She was an academic librarian for many years and ended her career as a librarian. Well, maybe she'll go back at Penn State University, where she was the head librarian for the Fayette campus. 12 years of administrative academic library experience. She teaches LIS 620 and LIS 600 and will be working with Sonia on the capstone, LIS 698. And her research includes an interest in the relationship between accreditation standards and academic libraries, interested in the experience of adult learners in higher ed. And she has several, three, I guess, greyhounds, and they often attend her classes along with you. So, and sorry about the sound, Joe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fatih Oguz. Can everyone hear me okay, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Yes, I am the beekeeper. Yes, I keep bees and I get stung once in a while, so in case you've been wondering. But otherwise, it's a nice, sweet hobby. So, I've been in the program a little over 10 years, and I generally teach technology courses and occasionally teach our practicum course. When it comes to research, my research mainly focuses on online education and digital libraries, and mostly I have been looking at this employment outcomes of online education and how students network after graduation. And again, I'll look forward to meeting with you all once everything is over, hopefully in person. Otherwise, I'll look forward to meeting with you all online. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatih. Okay, ready for a new question? All right. Here's the leaderboard. Oh, Noah's got inside information. Who has been the president of a professional organization? So red is April Dawkins, blue Mike Crumpton, gold Lori Sands, green Zach Frazier. Interesting. So we actually had two winners on this one, two people who fit that description, and neither one of them was chosen as the top. I don't know what that does to the score. So, but we'll introduce these folks. Go ahead, April.
Hi, everyone. I'm April Dawkins, and yes, I'm a past president of the North Carolina School Library Media Association back in 2012. So a little bit about me. I have a bachelor's degree in history from Meredith, a master's of library science from North Carolina Central, just like Letitia, and a PhD from our sister school in South Carolina. And I was a high school social studies teacher before I became a high school librarian. And then I joined UNCG. Yes, this is the start of my 4th year. So the picture there is one of my 2 cats. I adopted a second cat during the lockdown time. So that's Basil, and I have a new cat that's black, and her name is Hazel. So I have Basil and Hazel. So what do I teach? A variety of things. This fall, I'm teaching 670, which is Educational Foundations for School Librarians, which is a prerequisite course for people who want to be a school librarian but don't already have a teaching degree. And I'm also teaching materials for adolescents. I teach that pretty much every semester, which is for age 12 and up, 12 to 19 literature. I've also taught the school library management course, just like Heather Moorfield-Lang does. And I teach instructional design when Anthony can't teach it. So my research areas, I'm particularly interested in intellectual freedom and access issues in school libraries, generally about school libraries and young adult literature issues. And I look forward to working with many of you. Thank you.
Thanks, April. Mike, are you online? I don't think Mike's online. He's got a busy life. Interim dean of the University Libraries he is. And he is an associate professor. The librarians at UNCG are members of the faculty and get promotion in tenure. So, he is an associate professor, and he's also editor-in-chief of Journal of Learning Spaces. He has written a number of books or co-edited a number of books. Some of them with me, he's now past president of NCLA. That's a very long commitment to be the president of the North Carolina Library Association. So that is Mike and Lori.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody. I'm Lori Sands. I'm director of the Teaching Resources Center, which is the library in the School of Education at UNCG, and the Self-Design Studio, which is our makerspace. I was a former school librarian and a teacher first, and then a school librarian for many years. And then I've been in this position at UNCG for over 10 years now. I'm an alum of our program. I got my master's in, I don't know, 2000, I think. It's been a while, but there's still a few of us around who've been here for that long. So it's nice to be working back at my alma mater, and I enjoy it very much. I will just say, for the moment, I'll drop a little thing here to say that If you were to find that you need something right now, we are open. The TRC is open, but we're doing our version of curbside sort of pickup, like many public libraries and other libraries are doing right now. So if you need something, you can just email us at trc@uncg.edu, and we'll get things ready for you, and you can just come by and pick them up. Or if you are a distant student, we do mail things sometimes. So just email me or email the TRC. We'll be happy to help you out if we can do that. I teach primarily the LIS 692, which is the field experience for people coming into school library who don't have a teaching background. And then I also teach the Libraries and Makerspaces course that's in the summer. So hopefully I'll see many of you either someday in person, perhaps, those of you who are nearby, but certainly online in some various capacity. Feel free, as I said, to reach out to the TRC if there's anything that we can provide. Thanks.
Hi, Zach, you with us?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good. All right, let's see. Man. Hi, everybody. I'm Zachary Frazier, Dr. Frazier. Please call me Zach, though. And I teach web design, website production, and usability for librarians. And I coordinate the bachelor's program. So I work mainly with undergraduates, some of whom you guys will hopefully see as cohort members next year. So I'm originally from Seattle, where I grew up, and then moved to South Carolina for my master's degree. And I've been in the Southeast kind of ever since. Lived in DC for a little while, moved back to South Carolina, got a PhD, and then joined UNCG as the coordinator of the BSIS program. So I really look forward to seeing you in all, if you're in my class, if not around once things get a little bit more back to normal. So let me know if you need anything, and let me know if you guys are ever around, if you're from out of town and want to go for a walk or get a coffee or anything. Anyway, have a great day. I'm really excited to see all of you. Bye.
One trivia question we could ask about Zach is, which one of these professors is a coffee snob? I think Zach would definitely be the winner on that one. So,
Enthusiast.
Enthusiast, okay. We'll go with enthusiast. All right. So I think, oh no, 5:06. All right.
So who teaches?
Who teaches voice lessons in Durham? Greg Hoffman is red, blue, Tiffany Duck, gold, Ann Claire Nyberg, and green is Spyro, the Spartan. Wow, look how many people got that correct. Wow. So take it away, Greg.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am the office manager for the department. I'm not a librarian, although as you can see behind me, I have a large number of books from working in a used bookstore. And since there's, you can actually see them for a change on Welcome Day, I'll point out that they are organized by category. So we've got the fiction right behind me, and art is up above there. We've got music. So I probably should be a librarian, but I can't help you with your homework. But if you have any questions about glass blowing or music composition, I may be able to help you out. Also, if you just have any questions, I'm a good point of contact. I'm sure you've seen a number of emails from me, and there'll be a lot more. So I'm sorry in advance. Welcome to the program, and best of luck.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Anne Claire Niver. I'm what's known as the LIS Outreach Coordinator. What that basically means is that I manage our social media accounts, and I would invite you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. I also have recently started moving into recruitment this year. So I'll be doing a little bit of that too. I went to UNCG myself. I got my bachelor's of music. I do teach voice lessons, though not in Durham. I teach them all on Zoom now, which has been kind of a trip for the past 5.5 months or so. And I'm friends with Greg. I think that's it. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Also, if you have any news that you want to share about awards you've received, places where you've been asked to present, etc., please feel free to email me, tell me about them, and I will share them to our social media. Look forward to working with some of you this year. Bye.
Tiffany, are you with us?
She came in at one point, Laura.
Oh, okay. Tiffany is an adjunct instructor for us. She got her MLIS from San Jose State University. You can see her professional interests, including teen engagement and adult services, and restorative justice practice in libraries. She's teaching LIS 620 for us this fall, and I hope she will continue to teach for us in the future. And she's taught in other programs, materials and services for adults, and user-centered information services. So we're really happy to have Tiffany with us for the fall and maybe into the future. Okay, one last question. Oh, no, it's still in the lead. Oh, dear.
Second, third.
It's good that the faculty know each other. That's very, very good. So the question is, who co-authored a book about mindfulness and librarianship? Red is Kevin Washburn. Blue is Martin Halbert. Gold is Miriam Blake. And green is Richard Moniz. So that was not very well known. All right. The answer is Richard Moniz, and he is here today, so he'll introduce himself in a minute. Miriam, I know, is not here. She has an MS in a part of the information science world called knowledge management, and that's from Kent State University. She's teaching LIS 657 special libraries, and she actually runs a special library in the Center for Creative Leadership, which is a very, and you can see her title there, Global Director, Knowledge Management and Library Services. And when she says global, she means global. They have 5, I think, different satellite offices around the world. And before that, she was the director of the research library at Los Alamos National Laboratory. When we talk about special libraries, this is the kind of library that we're talking about, a library that serves a particular organization with a very focused collection. And she was the lead developer, team lead for Library Without Walls, so a digital library at Los Alamos National Lab. And she does software training and was the lead of a library automation company called GIAC, which was one that I used back in the day. So that's Miriam. I know some of you 657 is a kind of advanced course, so there's probably not many of you taking that this semester, but if you are interested in leading a very focused library, that would be the course to take. So this is Richard. Hi, Richard. He's coming to us from the beach of South Carolina.
Oh, jealous.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, so I'm Richard, and I've been in this program for 14 years teaching, and it's really great. I mean, I think you've probably heard this before, where you picked a really great group. I'm biased, of course, but it's just been awesome being an instructor in this program, and the students are just fantastic. I think you're going to find that even virtually, you'll build some great relationships that you'll carry with you beyond the program. But yeah, so I've been a library director for 23 years. 21 years was with Johnson & Wales University. And then the last couple of years with Horry Georgetown Technical College. Yeah, and I'm not really at the beach. I'm in my spare room in the front, but it looks like I'm at the beach almost. So yeah, I've taught, geez, I didn't put that up here. So I've taught management quite a bit, and advanced online search in 623 quite a bit also, and I'm teaching that this fall. I've taught foundation, special collections, reference. So, my big things have been teaching for UNCG and being a director. I've actually been in libraries though for 29 years. Actually, I started as a work study at Rhode Island College. Other people have mentioned where their degrees are from. Mine are from Rhode Island College, the University of Rhode Island, and Florida International University. I've done quite a bit of authoring of books, and most of those books, actually 6 out of 8 of those books were co-authored with other UNCG, UNCG LIS grads. So one thing just with that too, don't hold yourself back. You can jump in and get involved early, especially now with all the virtual opportunities there are to present. So I was president of Metrolina Library Association a couple times in Charlotte. We started a pretty neat conference there that runs every year. So I'm on the Pascal board of directors. I'm going to try to share some of that with my class this semester, because we just did a switch over to Ex Libris, and that was kind of an interesting experience that'll tie into 623. And then, as was mentioned in the question, I've done some stuff on mindfulness. We've done a whole bunch of workshops from North Carolina, South Carolina State Library, even other states. My wife is a UNCG LIS grad, and she and I partner up on library projects on occasion. And we recently did one for North Carolina State Library together on mindfulness, a 3-week session. But looking forward to meeting all of you, and I think you really won't be disappointed. It's a really great program, and again, take advantage of making all those connections that you possibly can in the program. Just a bunch of great people.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's great to have you teaching with us every semester you do it. So let's see. So Kevin Washburn is a school library media specialist in the DC area. He has an EDD from Western Carolina University. He's also been a librarian in other realms, and he teaches LIS 610 for us this fall, collection management. Also, he teaches 600 at times. He's done the materials for children, LIS 617, and he's taught the reading, literacy, and the library class 664. And Kevin is one of our UNCG MLIS grads, and we're always lucky to have alums come back and teach for us. And let's see, what's next, Tammy? Oh, and Martin, I think I saw your name here.
Hi, folks. Martin Halbert here. I have been a librarian or information professional as well for 32 years and have worked in a lot of different library types, academic, public, and special libraries. I've served as the head of libraries in both corporate libraries and 2 academic libraries, the University of North Texas, and until recently here at UNCG. I was the library dean before Mike Crumpton. While I've done a lot in libraries in a lot of different roles, I have probably most focused over my career in digital librarianship, and I've been fortunate enough to get and lead more than $7 million in cooperative grants and research grants in this area between many different institutions. I should say that I'm teaching LIS 600, really looking forward to it, Foundations of LIS. I am currently on loan to the National Science Foundation from UNCG, where I'm the program director for their public access program. Basically, if you're in my class, I'll tell you all about it. The public access program is the program of the National Science Foundation to provide and ensure public access to the research products that the NSF funds. And just a quick word about the NSF, we pride ourselves as the only federal agency that funds all areas of science, and one of the few federal agencies that was actually created by a targeted law passed by Congress shortly after World War II. We just celebrated our 70th anniversary. Looking forward to all of you in LIS 600. I'm delighted to get back to teaching after a while, and looking forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.
See who our winner is, Nora.
Who's our winner?
Third place.
April.
Guess who
Who is it? Sir Noah. All right. Very fun. Okay. We'd like to, we know that you've been introducing yourself in the chat, but the chat can be a very isolated little picture because you would have to scroll up to see everything that everybody's put in here. And I just realized something, Tammy, I didn't turn on the recording.
I did.
Oh, Tammy's got me. She's got my back.
A few slides in, a few slides in.
And so anyway, we're gonna just break people up so that you can take 15 minutes to really say hello to a small group of people. We're gonna break up the faculty in the same random way. So there will be probably a few faculty in some rooms. And again, we're sorry that we can't do it targeted, but it's just impossible in this kind of situation and with this particular Zoom room that we're in. So
Can I say something?
yes, Tammy's going to say something.
There are about 15 people in each room, including faculty. So if the faculty can kind of manage the introductions of the students who are in your room, we would be grateful.
Yeah. So, thank you, everybody. We'll send you reminders when the breakout rooms are about to break up, and have fun.
You may have a button in the corner to say join your room. So if you see that button, please join your room. You've all been invited to join a room. So
Okay, welcome back. So in the program notes, we're going to talk a little bit about customizing your program. I'm going to turn it over to Tammy to talk about the school library media program. We'll talk a little bit about the capstone. We'll talk about study abroad and LISA. And I believe Melody Root is on the call, and she is the university librarian who is the LIS subject specialist. And so she will say just a couple of words in this section. So customizing. So you may have seen this website, and we will be updating it from time to time. Basically, there's only one specialty in the program: school library media coordinator. That is a very specialized program. It has a very focused plan of study. The other program is what we call the general program. It does not have a focused plan of study, but you can focus it by taking a group of classes that all relate to each other. And so, so this kind of gives you some ideas. If you're interested in archives or special collections, you might take that group of classes there. Notice that some of them still say they're LIS 688, and those are going to have numbers, hopefully in the next year. Cataloging, there's a couple of classes there. Children and youth in a public library, so not in the school library program, but in the public library, there's a group of classes there. Digital collections, you can see a group of classes there. Again, those may be changing as we go. They're changing all the time. We have a group of classes that might focus you on being an instructional librarian. And hopefully in the next year or so, now that we have added a totally different degree called the MED in Instructional Technology, we may be able to offer a certificate program that will be focused on instructional technology as it plays out in places like corporate areas and in academic libraries, and having that kind of specialty will be, you know, again, choosing the right courses makes you a specialist. So
that can also be found here, Nora.
And again, the Padlet has this information on it, including a link to that list of specialized courses, customizing the LIS. You can also search for it, lis.uncg.edu, customizing, comes right to it. So your advisor was chosen primarily to match your interests. However, around the middle of the summer, as I'm admitting people, the faculty are all busy taking a vacation. And I am sort of the default advisor. I have, you know, a fairly broad interest in the program. So a number of you may be, I may be your advisor at the moment, but you can certainly change advisors, or, and as your interests become clear, that may be a good thing for you to do. So your advisor, we think of as a specialist in those things that you're interested in. So as your ideas coalesce, then you might change advisors, or stick with the one that you've been given. Contact me if you want to do that change. So go ahead. I'll switch places with you, Tammy.
Hi there. I think I actually have 2 slides, so you may have to give me just a moment. I can't do it from my computer because of the audio, so I apologize. But those of you who are in school library, you see the team kind of in emoji format in the next two slides. So on the last slide, you see Dr. Dawkins, who you've heard earlier. You've heard from Lori Sands, who is the director of the TRC, myself, and Heather Moorfield-Lang. So we bring lots of experience to the table. You heard all of us talk to you about our times that we spent in the classroom, our time that we spent in the school libraries, and the time that now we get to spend with you in the academic library, in the academic classroom. So we're extremely excited. As Dr. Bird told you earlier, we also have a very scripted plan of study, and that is dictated to us by the state for licensure purposes. So you will be certified K-12, as many of you have heard me say, and your advisor. And so because of that, we do ask that if you would like to have both school library licensure and public library certification, you can do that. But with the addition of your core courses, you would have to take both children's literature with me, or materials for children, and materials for adolescents, which is with Dr. Dawkins. So if you take both of those, that will set you up to be kind of dual accredited. You also heard Dr. Moorfield-Lang talk about LIS 635. That is a required course, and it is technology kind of in the libraries. So think ahead about what you could do for your program as you're putting your assignments together, and you can lead with a really nice set of resources to really help support the instruction going on in your libraries. But we also will have 653 and 654, which are really core just school librarians in those courses, because they're going to prepare you for what your program will look like there. And then 93 is our capstone. So school librarians, if you hear anything about capstone from Dr. Archer Capuzzo, make sure you're going to think, oh no, what am I missing? And yours is a little different. So we have this different kind of track that's really dictated by the state. So I apologize ahead of time. But if you don't have a teaching license, we do require a few other courses you can see listed on the slide. And those are done by those of us who have experience in the field, and that's preparing you. So we want to make sure you understand what it's like to be in front of a group of children, because you might say, oh no, I've changed my mind. Some people do. And that's okay, and that's where we'll find that out. We want to really help support you and make sure you are totally prepared to walk into that library classroom and be successful and helping your students and your faculty be successful. There are quite a few licensure requirements. They changed the name of the task stream assessment, so I know many of you have heard task stream for a while. That is now going to be called SONIA. We're not exactly sure what it looks like right this minute, but we're hoping by next week we can provide that for you. There will be a portfolio. A praxis is required. The praxis is your state test for your teaching license, actually. And then there will be evaluations. We've actually taken away that disposition part, so you won't have to worry about that. And then, Nora, if you'll switch my, I think I've got one more slide there. The down arrow should do it, I think, or right arrow. There we go. And again, there will be kind of a, it's really an evaluation and disposition put together, talking about what it's like to work in your library and what that looks like, and how confident you are to make sure that you, and comfortable really, in that setting. So we'll talk about what that looks like from your evaluation supervisor in 693. If you have not done so already, there is a program application for school librarianship, and that's your declaration of intent. And Dr. Bird sent that out in your welcome letter, so if you haven't done that, it also asks you to do a quick Flipgrid video so we can get to know you a little bit better and help prepare you for which area you're wanting to head to. Again, as I said earlier, we have our very own kind of Facebook group, because we like to share when you get positions or books that are appropriate for younger children that maybe our academic librarians don't care about. So please join our UNCG SLMC Real World Edition, and follow us on Facebook. Anne Claire talked earlier about all of our wonderful social media outlets that we have. They're great places to start to get to know each other, because even though this is an online program, we're very passionate about making sure that you feel comfortable and you also feel a part. You don't feel separate. We want you to build your network when you're in the community, in the program. And we don't have to be in the same room to collaborate any longer, do we? We're really getting good at that over our COVID experience. So look forward to meeting you as well as our entire school library team. There's Dr. Marshall Lang in the corner there. I'm a little bit of a Bitmoji fan, so I look forward to meeting you in person as well.
All right. So, Sonia, do you want to say something about the capstone?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I'm just getting over the fact that I am also the something to do with the whatever the school media, their certification. It's like I'm everywhere.
No, you're not involved in that. She was contrasting what you say.
No, but it's called Sonia. It's weird. Okay, I'm back.
We were really confused when we got the email. We were like, Sonia, what is Sonia doing? And
she doesn't do school media.
It's the name of the software for our portfolio.
That is so bizarre.
It has adopted, and they haven't sent us any information out about it. But we were like, is this a person or is this a program? That's what Heather's putting in there. But yeah, it's going to be a little confusing. We're going to have to say Sonia software and not Sonia.
Wait, you can call it Sonia and me Sonia. There you go. So we get confused too, guys. All right, so for those of you who are in school media, stop listening. I will confuse you for everybody else. We have a capstone thing that is new for us, and I guess it's new for you because you're new to the whole program. Basically, your capstone is the last course you take in the program, or the course you take in your last semester. You may take something else at the same time. And it is sort of the way you pull everything together that you've done and get ready to go out into the real world and do stuff, whatever it is you decide to do as a job. So we have created a website all about this, and I just shared the link in the chat box. So you guys can go and look at that, and hopefully it will answer a lot of your questions so I don't have to take up a lot of your time this morning. But basically what's going to happen is start thinking about this now. Your capstone is going to be some way in which you get real life, real world in the field experience as you're finishing up your degree. So think about, what do I want to do when I finish this program? What do I want to be when I grow up? If you're not sure yet, that's okay, but keep thinking about that as you go through the program. If you don't have any library experience, your best bet with the capstone is going to be our option A, which is a field experience, and you basically go out and do an internship type thing for a semester. And that's going to be the focus of your capstone. If you're already working in a library and you want to try something else, or you're hampered for time because you're working a bunch of other jobs, or whatever, or you love research, we have an option B, which is you putting together basically a action research project where you see a problem in a library or another information institution. This isn't just libraries. And you look for a way to fix that problem. So in your final semester, you actually implement your solution to the problem and see how it works. So what we've put together with this website is a place that will tell you all about what's going on with the capstone, what option A and option B are about, the steps you're going to follow to do this capstone. The main thing you need to know now is, as you're starting out, just think about what you might want to do, but you don't have to make any decisions. When you get halfway through the program, you hit 18 hours, you will actually declare for option A or option B. You can change your mind after that, but we like to know early so we can plan ahead, because for both of those, the semester before you do the capstone, we have to do some prep. You and I, your advisor, other people will be involved in helping you prep for that capstone. If you're doing option A, we have to find you a site. We have to set goals and a timeline. If you're doing option B, we have to find you a site, and you have to write a proposal for the project you're going to do. And we have a whole system worked out for this. If you're doing option B, there are certain classes you can take to prepare to do that sort of action research. With option A, you just sort of take your classes and head toward doing that experience at the end. And then at the end, that whole capstone experience is mostly going to be you working in the field, but you will also put together a portfolio, summing up what you've learned, tying what you've learned to our program learning outcomes, which you can access from that capstone site so that you know what those are, and you can be aligning your work to that as you go. If you're not sure how to work with that, you can talk to your advisor about how you can be using the program learning outcomes from the beginning, or you can certainly email me and I'm happy to help. So you'll be writing up a portfolio, aligning with the program learning outcomes. You'll be doing assessments of yourself and how you're doing as you go through that final semester, what you're learning, what you're figuring out. You're going to get a supervisor assessment, and we're going to go over that with you, whoever's teaching the capstone. And it'll just be a way of pulling together everything you've learned and saying, this is what I know right now. So the capstone is a reflective experience that says, okay, yeah, here's what I did, but this is what I can do right now with what I learned. So you're really going to be pulling everything together. So just keep thinking forward toward that. As Nora says, yes, the project is probably best for someone who's already working in a library. But if you have absolutely no library experience, option A is the much better bet for you. And you can get other in the field experience. If you decide to do a practicum, which is something different, you can talk to me. You could do a practicum and a capstone field experience and get a full 2 semesters worth of work in the field. You just have to talk to me about how these things work. So since this is customizable to every single one of you, there's not a huge amount of generalization we can do about exactly what you'll want to do, but this is sort of what's going on. So you guys who are not school media, this is LIS 698. It's your final semester, but you're thinking about it now, and it's going to be fine. So there is a Google Drive where you can look at some documents we have, and there's a link for that on that slide, but you can also go to that website, which I actually put all of that information on. So it's just a little prettier. And I think I killed the dog. I don't know if you guys can see. She just rolled over on her back. So I think I'm done. I hope you're okay.
We do have a tendency to bore our pets. But so let's see, Lissa, Olivia, do you want to talk about Lissa?
Yeah, hey all, I'm Olivia. I'm a 2nd year student and graduate assistant, but I'm also the vice president of LISA, which is the Library and Information Science Student Association. So it's like our student club. This is kind of like a national, like official club, and this is our chapter for our program. Our first meeting is Sunday, August 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not in our time zone, you might need to kind of recalibrate that. And we will be sending out a couple emails soon with a link to the WebEx or Zoom room. Some events that we typically do and that we hope to do this semester and next semester as well. We have one meeting a month, just kind of like a general meeting. And then on top of that, we try to do Crit Libs, which is kind of critical librarianship, which I believe we'll be doing in collaboration with Dr. Velez again this year, where we kind of take a critical lens using things like critical race theory, gender studies, that sort of thing, and apply that to issues in librarianship. So if that kind of sounds interesting to you, then keep an eye out for that. We also try to do some social meetups, so just to kind of help build community and do some networking, that sort of thing, but nothing too formal. We hope to do some service projects, maybe some fundraising. There'll be more information about that soon. And historically, we have done some town halls where we can kind of get a state of things within the department so that we can all be on the same page, and that gives us an opportunity to ask questions and get answers about different things going on in the department. And then more, we are going to be sending out an email soon with a survey about events so we can get an idea of what days and times would work best for you guys for different events and meetings and such, and if you have any ideas or other types of events that you would like to see. And you can become an official member on Spartan Connect, which there's a link here. I'm not sure if these slides will be shared with everybody, but if they are, there's a link. If not, you can just kind of look up Spartan Connect and then search for Lissa, then you can click become a member. We are relatively active on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook if you want to follow us there. And we also have an excellent resource site, which I'll put a link for. And no, I do not believe that there is a cost. I don't remember there being one. I'll have to double check that. I don't think that you have to pay to join. Okay, no fee for students. And then we have our email, which is lissa.uncg@gmail.com. And then here's a list of our officers. And if you notice at the bottom, we need 2 first-year representatives. So if this is your first year or your first semester, we will be sending out, and you'll be getting a lot of emails from us, but we will be sending out an email asking for people to nominate themselves to be a first-year representative so you can be on the official Lissa board and be privy to all of our goings on and kind of represent the first-year student interests and stuff like that. So there's a lot of information here, I know, but you will be getting lots of emails, and I'll put some links to things in the chat box. But yeah, please join Lissa. We have a brand new board of officers or whatever, and we have a lot of great ideas, and we've got a really good team. And I'll answer some questions in the chat and post some links. But yeah, please join Lissa.
Thanks, Olivia. We have had in the past one study abroad program. We tried to get some other going, but we haven't been successful yet. These are old dates. Who knows what's going to be happening next summer, but you will hear from Dr. O'Connor. I forgot to tell you that that picture on her slide was her hanging off a cliff in Ireland. So it's a very meaningful experience. Ask anybody who went on a former trip. It's about the intersection of archives and libraries and the separation of North and Northern Ireland from the country of Ireland, so the Republic of Ireland. So anyway, this is these are some folks who went on it the last time it ran. And yes, you can join as a join ALA and NCLA if you are a North Carolina resident, or if you're a resident of another state, you can join that state's library association. Usually they have a package deal, ALA and the state association. Take advantage of those, as we've said in the chat. Student memberships are cheap. You get all the publications, you get all the notices, there are free webinars, you get, less expensive ticket into the conferences. All of those things, take advantage of them while you are a student, because believe me, you do not want to pay the professional rates of ALA. My husband always goes, "Really, Nora?" I try to hide those as much as possible. Anyway, so yeah. And yes, so achieving success in the LIS program, because we want to see you at graduation. That's Dr. Chow in his role as chair of the Faculty Senate. He gets to greet the big graduation when it happens. So this is a joke, a cartoon that I like to show. Says, sometimes I think that this is not at all what I expected when I went to librarian school. Where are the crazy adventures? Where are the reckless romances? Where are the wild car chases? If that's what you're expecting out of your graduate degree program, you may be disappointed. But if you are looking for preparation for the world of librarianship and information specialties, then you have come to the right place, I believe. So, we have a few tips. One is, this is a picture of my calendar, my Google Calendar. I know some of you still love your paper planners. That's fine. You can have your paper planner, but you know what? I would also have an online calendar. Why? Because your online calendar has some great information on it. This is, I have subscribed to the graduate school's calendar, and look what information is on there. First of all, it says the last day to register and to adjust your schedule. Last day to withdraw from a course. What date is that? Monday, August 24th. That tells you that on this calendar. You don't have to worry about that. Happy birthday, Austin. And on Tuesday the 25th, this doesn't apply to any of you. Well, it might, but I don't think so. If you were going to graduate in December, you have to apply to graduate on Tuesday, August 25th. So those are using your Google Calendar in this way can be really useful. So those are those dates. If you drop after August 24th, Austin's birthday, then there is a W on your record. If you decide to drop later, and this is October 9th, you get a WF, and WFs count as Fs. This is not undergraduate school. Fs in graduate school remain on your record. They don't get superseded by you repeating the course or anything like that. They remain on your record, and if your GPA falls below 3, then you are put on probation. If it continues to be at 3, then you are booted out of the program. So there are consequences to getting behind. Now, and you also cannot get financial aid if you have too many Fs or WFs. So use your calendar to subscribe to this important information. Look, this is also from my stuff. You can see I'm having a root canal on the 18th. I hope that I will be having fun, but you can see the LIS department is having an exciting fall retreat on the 21st. You can see my classes when they are. And, but again, this is a great way to put all these things together. Notice the blue, that's actually a message from Canvas that says when one of my assignments is due. So you can subscribe to your Canvas calendar, and all that stuff can be in your UNCG. And so the Padlet talks about importing your Canvas calendar to Google. It gives you all the instructions on how to do that. So really, this is my biggest tip. Keeping track of what's going on. And if you want to duplicate that in your paper record or print it off every week and stick it in your paper binder, those are all great ideas. It's a Google app. There are lots of Google apps, some of which I didn't even know existed until I went to look at them recently. First of all, you have YouTube Space, great place to keep you can keep your stuff private on YouTube. Great place to keep any videos that you create in the program, video tutorials that you create in the program. Just another place to keep your stuff. Google Docs and Google Drive, huge storage space for all of your materials. You also have a Box account, so that's another place to keep your stuff that's cloud-based, and you don't have to worry about your hard drive crashing. This is good information science, folks. Keeping backups and backups. Okay. And you're subscribed to Microsoft Office. There's a Microsoft thing called OneDrive. I don't use it. Other people do. Tammy does, I know. That's another cloud backup. So you have lots of options. Figure out your workflow as you start graduate school so that you can keep track of all these documents and materials that you're creating as you go. You have to read your UNCG email. Import it into your other email if that's the main thing that you look at, but you must use it because that is the only way that we are allowed to communicate with you. We do sometimes go outside that, but we are really discouraged from doing that because of FERPA. So you must read your email and you must subscribe to Canvas announcements. All of us use those announcements to tell you important things about our courses. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do the Zoom room tonight. Oh, this assignment I had to, do something, and so now we had to move it, or all that kind of stuff. Yes.
Also, the registrar will only connect with you via your UNCG. So if, the deadlines to pay tuition.
Yeah.
So you won't be dropped from classes. I've noticed that happen this semester quite a bit, Nora.
Yeah. So again, UNCG email. You are now UNCG graduate students. You need to check that email. Communicate problems as soon as they appear. You're starting to get behind. You miss an assignment. Maybe it was for a very good reason. Don't keep that reason to yourself. Contact your professor and say something happened so that we can help you work around what the problem is. In terms of, oh, maybe I'll give you a couple more days. Maybe I'll give you another week. Maybe we can drop that assignment and you do a different assignment later on. There's all kinds of things that we can do, but we can't do it at the last minute. And we can't do it if you don't tell us. We really can't do anything if you don't tell us. And how are you going to tell us? Through your UNCG email. Okay, some of us have some published telephone numbers. We're not there. We're not answering it. A message does come to me, but it's much more efficient to just email me. Promise to get back. Be open and be flexible. And we as professors, we've been given a mandate to be as flexible as we can this term. Life is hard right now. It's hard for us. We know it. We have challenges as well. So, and unfortunately, we're individuals. For some of us, we have some really important things that we want to accomplish. So, but they're different for me than they are for Dr. Chow and Professor Brewer. These are all kinds of different things that we focus on. So different attendance policies, different Canvas procedures, different grading schemes in terms of rubrics, but the scheme is, what's considered an A, what's considered a B, all that is one. But be flexible. Respect those differences. Due dates, more time, just ask. Give us time to respond to emails. Read the rules that we have set for our emails. So I have a rule. I try not to read email on Saturday. It's kind of my day off. And so if you have an emergency on Saturday, I'm not going to know about it till Sunday. And it's probably not such a bad emergency for the weekend. So, so that way, and give us time to respond to emails. But give us a reminder, because we're human, and some of us are older than others. We have good excuses like age, but we're human. And be open to the opportunities around you. So maybe some great opportunity comes and it doesn't quite fit our rubric, but it kind of meets the same objectives of an assignment. Let us know. Maybe that's more important. You gotta have the proper tools. There's a list on the Padlet. Oh my gosh. It's getting late. There is help. There's rich library resources. Melody, are you still with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, can you just say a few words?
Yeah, sure. Let me turn my video on for those who haven't seen me yet. My name is Melody Rood. For those of you who were in the breakout room with me, you're going to hear the same spiel, but I am the Student Success Librarian at UNCG Libraries, and I am the new library liaison to the LIS program. So basically every department that you could get a degree in at UNCG has a librarian assigned to that program to help them with various things, specifically research needs, consultations, any sort of library or information need, as well as helping with citations. I will be offering some Zotero workshops, which is a citation management software. So if you're unfamiliar with that, that can help. But basically, I'm here to support y'all. So you might see me in your classrooms introducing just our library resources, or I might be doing a talk about open educational resources because I run those initiatives with a colleague of mine. You can see, yeah, Amy Harris Hoke was the former liaison to this area. I will soon be taking over all of these LibGuides, so that'll change soon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting with all of you. I do want to also shout out that Jackson Library is working to create a mentoring circle program, and that's something that we hope to launch this semester. And it's going to be open to LIS students and faculty. And the idea is that, you know, sometimes one-on-one mentors sort of have that
kind of power dynamic, whereas, you know, there's the learner and then there's the person who gives the information. Whereas this sort of breaks that dynamic down a little bit and recognizes that we all have different levels of experience and knowledge that we can share with each other. And it's just a really great opportunity. It's something that I really would have loved to have when I was in grad school. So if you're interested in that, please look out for some emails about that. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'll put my email in the chat right now, but it's mlrood@uncg.edu. And yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Melody. Yeah, there's another picture of a slightly older one. Help for online students. You can get paper books emailed to you, but check out your local libraries. They can interlibrary loan materials as well. So, and also cultivate your circle of help in your local communities. So I have, we all have a friend who's an English major and just loves to put commas where they belong. So, cultivate, exchange documents with that person, or, promise to help them with their next library search. And most importantly, there is now, because UNCG has moved to online, there is some counseling services that are online. I urge you to look those up, but also think about utilizing your local community for that as well. You can always reach out to your advisor, but we are not trained counselors, so we cannot help with those kinds of things that require personal counseling. But we can get you connected with the right thing, and we can give you time to deal with what you need to deal with. And that's the important thing about reaching out to us. We have a Lissa you already know about, Facebook page we talked about, meetings if we ever get to go to meetings again in real life. Justin's out there in Chicago, where American Library Association meets almost every summer, so we'll be out there sometime, Justin. We do have what we call the Cora Paul Bomar Summit. It was canceled in this past March. Wanda Brown, who's the president of the American Library Association this year and a graduate of this program, will be the speaker. She's agreed to come back next March if we can all meet in person. Plagiarism is an important responsibility for librarians. We take it seriously in our classes, as does the university. So please read the policies that are in your syllabi. There's a bunch of them. They're tedious, but they're important because we will hold you to those. So communicate. Use your words. And the only, in this online environment, those have to be primarily through email. But we can create other opportunities for us to meet with you on Zoom, on Google Meeting, on WebEx, unless it goes away. So we can get a real-time meeting with you, or on the telephone, we'll call you back. But let us know. General help, Greg introduced himself. He's like a first line of defense. He will get you with the faculty member or the person you need to talk to. Lisa, Dr. Lisa O'Connor will is definitely a go-to person. Start with me first. If you're, well, start with your advisor, then come to me, then go to Dr. O'Connor, or start with your advisor, go to Tammy if your school libraries, and we'll get you to the right person. We will intervene with the grad school for you. We cannot intervene with financial aid. We cannot intervene with the registrar. You're adult students now. That is your responsibility, and we're sorry, but we can't. So, is that it? Oh, just the Padlet, and we'll stay for a few minutes, take some questions. You can turn on your mics if you want to. We're all probably pretty tired. It's been 2 hours. I want to thank all the faculty for coming today. I appreciate your being here. Oh, can you put the Padlet link in the chat?
I can't from this computer, but you can from that one. Okay. It has moved my chat, or I would have been pasting them in there all along. Grab it. It's padlet.com, UNCG LIS welcome, /welcome, /UNCG LIS /welcome.
Bye, Molly. Hi, Troy.
Get my phone from the chat. It disappeared.
Good to see you, Constance. Great, Shannon. Hey, Justin. Bye. Hi, Andy. Bye, Susan. Hi, Becky. Hey, Christopher. And Sissy and Zoe. Love your name, Zoe.